If you're like most Canadians, you've heard max your RRSP for years. But there comes a point where one more RRSP dollar can actually hurt you. Higher taxes in retirement, OAS clawbacks, loss flexibility, and better alternatives being left on the table. In this video, I'm going to walk you through when an RRSP stops being your best savings tool, what to do instead, and a simple framework to decide where your next dollar should go. Let's start with why RRSPs usually work well. Contributions are tax deductible. You reduce your taxable income today and may get a refund. Investments grow, tax deferred. Interest, dividends, and capital gains compound inside the RRSP without annual tax. You can contribute up to 18% of your prior year's earned income, up to a dollar limit. For example, $31,560 for 2024. $32,490 for 2025, and $33,810 for 2026. The classic RRSP win is tax arbitrage. Contribute when your marginal tax rate is high. Withdraw when your marginal tax rate is lower. Example, contribute $10,000 while in a 40% marginal bracket and you save $4,000 in tax today. If you later withdraw that $10,000 at a 20% marginal rate, you only pay $2,000, keeping a net $2,000 tax advantage plus years of tax-deferred growth. That's the ideal, but it assumes your retirement tax rate is lower. Here are the main signs that RRSPs might no longer be your best tool. First, retirement tax rate equal to or higher than today. If you expect your marginal tax rate in retirement to be similar to or higher than your current rate, the RRSP tax deferral becomes much less compelling or even negative. Think of someone making $60,000 now, moderate bracket, but expecting $80,000 to $100,000 of taxable income in retirement from a generous defined benefit pension plus RRF withdrawals. They might get a 31% refund on contributions now, but face 40% plus effective marginal rates later once OAS clawback is included. In that scenario, every extra RRSP dollar is a promise to pay more tax later, not less. Second, very low current income. If you're in a very low tax bracket today, for example, a student, part-time worker, or a temporarily low-income year, contributing to RRSP may give you little or no deduction value because your marginal rate is already low. Putting that same money into a TFSA often wins because you pay little tax now, you get tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals later, and you avoid turning future withdrawals into taxable income that could affect benefits or push you into higher brackets. Third, high projected retirement income and OAS or GIS clawbacks. RRSP and RRIF withdrawals are fully taxable and count towards OAS recovery tax. Clawback once net income crosses the government's threshold, with 15% on each dollar above it, and potential loss or reduction of income tested benefits like GIS. If your pension, CPP or QPP, OAS, and RRIF minimums will already push you near or above those thresholds, extra RRSP savings can turn into higher marginal tax rates and added 15% effective marginal cost from OS clawback. This is one of the biggest reasons RRSPs stop being optimal and TFSA or non-registered strategies become more attractive. Fourth, short-term goals and emergency funds. RRSPs are a poor place for 3 to 12-month emergency savings or short-term goals like a near-term home renovation or a car purchase outside HBP or LLP. Because RRSP withdrawals are taxable income, financial institutions must withhold tax, often 10, 20, or 30% on lump sums, and you may owe more at filing. For money you might need within roughly 5 to 10 years, TFSA or even a simple high-interest savings or non-registered account usually beats tying it up in an RRSP. Fifth, pension and limited contribution room. If you have a strong defined benefit pension and limited RRSP room because of pension adjustments, then you may already be on track for high retirement income. In that case, TFSA contributions can be more valuable for tax-free supplemental income. Paying down high-interest debt or investing in a non-registered account for capital gains-focused growth might deliver better after-tax results than more RRSP. When those triggers appear, here's what often beats extra RRSP contributions. TFSA. Annual TFSA limit has been in the $6,000 to $7,000 range in recent years, with lifetime room now over $90,000 for someone eligible since 2009. Contributions are made with after-tax dollars, but growth and withdrawals are tax-free and don't affect OAS or GIS calculations. TFSA is often better than RRSP. If your current marginal rate is low, your retirement marginal rate will be similar or higher, or you need flexible, penalty-free access. Non-registered accounts. Capital gains. Only 50% of the gain is taxable. Eligible Canadian dividends receive a dividend tax credit. For some savers, especially those expecting high RRF income later, building a portion of their portfolio in non-registered, capital gains-oriented investments can lead to lower lifetime tax than fully stuffing RRSPs and then withdrawing at high rates. Employer pensions and matching. If your employer matches contributions to a pension or group plan, that free money can easily outperform the tax benefit of an RRSP. Example, 6% of salary with a 50% match means you put in 6% and your employer adds 3%, an instant 50% boost. In many cases, maxing employer plans in TFSA comes before maxing RRSP once you're out of the classic high tax now, lower tax later zone. Paying down high interest debt. If you're carrying high interest consumer debt, credit cards, some lines of credit, paying that down can give you a guaranteed after-tax return, often in the mid-teens, which usually beats the long-term benefit of an RRSP contribution at modest tax rates. Let me walk you through the 3 real-world examples. Case A, high pension, high expected retirement tax. Age 45, income $95,000, large defined benefit pension, projected to replace 60 to 70% of income. Already on track for high taxable income in retirement. Here, future marginal rates might be as high or higher than today, especially when RRIF minimums and OAS clawback are considered. Priority order might become max TFSA, max employer plan, or matching only contribute extra to RRSP if projections show retirement tax rates meaningfully lower or if using RRSP for specific income splitting strategies. Case B, low current income, higher future income. Age 28, currently earning $30,000, expects to reach $80,000 plus later. At $30,000, their marginal tax rate is low. RRSP deductions are worth relatively little. The smarter play, prioritize TFSA until income rises, carry RRSP room forward, and start using RRSP more once they reach higher brackets. Case C, approaching 71 with large RRSP and OAS risk. Age 68, RSP $800,000, CPP, OAS plus pension already cover most expenses. Adding more to RRSP might just increase required RRIF minimums and OAS clawback later. At this stage, stop adding to RRSP if retirement income will already be in high brackets. Consider early RRSP withdrawals or staged RRF conversions in lower income years. Prefer TFSA and non-registered for additional savings, so future withdrawals don't raise taxable income. Here's a compact framework you can use. Compare tax rates. Is your expected retirement marginal rate lower than, similar to, or higher than your current marginal rate? Lower later, RRSP tends to win. Similar or higher later, TFSA or non-registered often better. Check TFSA room. If you still have TFSA room and your current rate is not clearly higher than your future rate, consider TFSA before more RRSP. Look at pensions in OAS or GIS. Big pensions or large RRSP balances plus CPP or OAS can mean higher retirement brackets and clawback risk. Don't blindly top up RRSP in that case. Clarify goal timing, less than 5 to 10 years or emergency. Use TFSA or non-registered, not RRSP. Long-term retirement and high current tax rate, RRSP is more compelling. Always model after tax retirement income. Use a TFSA versus RRSP calculator that includes the benefit clawbacks and assumes the RRSP tax refund is reinvested. RRSP only truly wins if you reinvest that refund and your retirement emitter is lower. RRSPs are powerful, but they're not automatically the best tool forever. Once your future tax rates, pensions, OAS clawback risk, or liquidity needs shift, TFSA, non-registered investing, debt repayment, or employer plans can give you better after-tax results with more flexibility. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments if you'd like me to run side-by-side numbers. For example, $10,000 into RRSP versus TFSA at different tax rates and OAS scenarios, so you can see exactly when the RRSP stops winning. Thanks for watching.